Completely. If Italia is to amount to anything, it must enter into the second half of this century with at least 60 million. Going. The territory in which the Germans live is too small for our 66 million inhabitants and will be too small for the 90 million which we want to become. Japan's goal was 100 million. Hold, please. Thank you.
They claimed the right of expansion because they were too crowded at home. Of September 15th, 1929, the telephone in my apartment rang. Mrs. Mary Sullivan, head of the City Policeman's Bureau, was superintending the raid in person. You have no right to touch those files. Not even the nurses ever see them. They are the private property of the doctors. Oh, everybody outside! Into the patrol wagons! You are being booked under Section 1142 of the New York Statutes, disseminating birth control information. The clinic had been active quite legally for 6 years under exception Section 1145, birth control information from doctors for the health of the mother. Immediately following the raid, various doctors volunteered to go on the stand to testify as to the medical principle of privacy involved. People versus Margaret Sanger! Judge Rosenbluth presiding! Officer McNamara. I presented myself as a patient. On the first visit, I learned the routine. And on the second visit, when the doctor left the room, I copied patients' history cards from off the doctor's desk. Murmurs rose from all the spectators. Murmurs rose from all the spectators. Murmurs rose from all the spectators. Dr. Harris. You are our former commissioner for the New York City upstate. Have you ever given birth control information regardless of a marriage certificate? The birth control clinic is a public health work. Every woman desiring treatment is asked whether she is married. Don't they have to bring their marriage certificates with them? No. Does not the clinic send out social workers to discover the truth of a patient's routine? Do you know of a situation where a doctor dispatched a detective to find out whether his patient was married? Unless I have absolute silence, I shall clear the courtroom. On second thought, out you go! The joke was on him. The doctors who laughed the loudest were to be called in as witnesses and were brought immediately back into the courtroom. They were more partisan than ever. The young prosecutor tried to be dramatic. The laws of New York State are that contraception may be given to married women only for the cure or prevention of disease. Do you dare claim that this article will cure tuberculosis? Will it cure cancer? Ha! doctors in a most sensitive spot. The sanctity of records. They were obliged to stand by us, whether they wanted to or not.